Hello everyone, hope you're all doing fine. Today is November 2020 and we're recording the very new episode of Big Data Month. As you can see, we're not in our beautiful studio in Paris. That is because Paris went under lockdown due to COVID once again. However, there's still news to discuss and we're still eager to do that. That is why I'm joined today online by two beautiful members of Big Data Club. I'm joined by Chiara Hoppner, who is the president, and Leonardo Nispoln, who is an active member of our association. Thank you guys for joining. I'll let you introduce
Thank you, Alexander, for having us.
So go ahead, tell us about yourselves.
Go for
Where are
it.
you and what are you doing right now?
I can start. Just listen. So I'm Chiara. I'm half German, half French. And at the moment, I'm at ESCP doing a master in big data and business analytics.
Okay, and where are you right now physically? So we know that we're...
Right now, sure. I'm in Munich at the moment, actually.
Great, so we have Germany on this side. I'm right now in the suburbs of Paris. And what about you, Leo?
I'm in Italy right now in my hometown. So basically, it's Leo. I'm Italian from a small town near Venice, and I'm as well enrolled in the Big Data and Business Analytics Master. And as well as Alexander said, I'm an active member of the Big Data Club. I'm very glad to be here with you all.
So that's great. That's great. We're having a very international podcast right now. 3 countries of Europe right now chatting thanks to the 21st century. That's not the only cool techie thing we're going to discuss today. I don't know who wants to start with their news feed. So we were going to first start by discussing news of this very past month. We're going to discuss things that made us think or interested us in some way. All the news are data, AI, high-tech related, IT related at least. And then we're going to, at the end, pass to our data job of the month section. This month is going to be data scientist. Data analyst was the last time. Watch the first episode if you haven't. So stay tuned for that. Let's start with the news. Who wants to start presenting their first news bite this month?
Leonardo.
Oh, okay. I'll try to do my best. So the first one is an article that I found, I believe, in the Financial Times by this guy, Charles Radcliffe, which happens to be the founder of this company called Ethics Grade, which is basically an ESG rating agency. And for who doesn't know what ESG stands for, these are basically some criteria that are getting more and more popular in the financial industry, let's say. There are a set of standards. ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance. So these standards describe how the company's operation are, let's say, in compliance with the environmental issue, social issues, so like, relationship with employees, with customers, this kind of stuff, and governance as well. So how much they respect their shareholder rights, how much they pay their executive, and this kind of stuff. So why did this guy create this ESG rating company? So basically, when you want to invest, what happens? You go to your wealth manager, you are a very rich guy, and he's going to ask you 2 questions. It doesn't matter you have 100 million in your bank account, €1,000, probably if you have €1,000, you won't have a wealth manager, but still. It's going to ask you your sensitivity to risk and if you prefer like performance or ethical investment. So sensitivity risk is not a problem, right? We can like create a scale from 1 to 10 and let's say try to assess your risk and let's say, okay, your risk level is 8, so I'm going to do this and this investment. But the ethical issue is quite big because the problem with the ESG ratings that I told you before is that they are not that precise. So what did this guy think about? Why not using artificial intelligence to find a way to match perfectly the value of an investor to the value, let's say ESG value of an organization? He does this kind of thing, which is like building this algorithm, and he feed the algorithm with the 2 main datasets. One is the profile of the investor, which is quite pretty easy to assess. And the other is the ethic profile of the organization, okay? So for the first one, we don't have any problems. With the second ones, we start having some problems because, as I told you before, ESG are not that reliable. So use NLP, which we all know what is it. so natural language processing, and he collect all this like news from the internet about like controversial topics, how the governance is behaving, and this kind of stuff. He analyzed them and he creates this, let's say, particular score, which like gives a score to the company value, and then he how can we say, cross-reference them with the value of the investor to find a perfect match and to advise him with the best investing solution.
Well, that sounds very interesting. Like in particular, the part at the beginning when you said you can choose the thing of being either ethical, either efficient.
That's
interesting.
that's because like nowadays, with the whole climate crisis, with the whole like people be more concerned about the impact on the environment. There are a few studies that like show that companies respecting this kind of criteria perform better over the long time. So if you have your investor who really care about the environment, this kind of stuff, that your company behaves properly with its employees, you can tell me, okay, there are this criteria and this company that match this criteria. Go with them. You're going to have like a better overall performance in your portfolio compared to choosing other company which doesn't respect this kind of criteria. So yeah, it's becoming a big thing.
Hope it's going to become a standard as well. I mean,
I don't know. I hope so, but it's kind of difficult, like imagine like company like Amazon or I don't know.
I can't.
I wouldn't say Google, because I think Google like wrote a plan to be like a zero carbon emission company by 2030. So they're doing good. Yeah, but there are like many companies. Imagine like oil company or chemicals companies, like almost impossible. So I hope it becomes a standard, but still.
Yeah, same.
Who knows?
Yeah, well, that's all funny. I mean, that's nice. A nice way to put AI to the test, because it's gonna be hopefully able to quantify and quantifiable, or like to measure the things we can't measure, or like we measure with eyeball it every time. So yeah, that's a huge thing now. Right now, I'm working, for example,
of the founder.
For the research project, we're working on a startup valuation using data and AI. It's pretty much the same idea. Before, it was done by humans like you and me, who would just, based on their experience and knowledge and feelings, they would just say, well, this is going to be measured as that much euros, for example, this as much euros. But now AI is less critical, less prone to be succumbed to the feelings and stuff. So that's why hopefully it's going to be better for all. Yeah. Chiara, I believe we don't hear you anymore. That's normal. That's life. So you can just join us again. And I mean, sound issues.
Here we are.
Now it's great. Yes.
Now is it better?
Yeah, it is great.
Okay, great. I was just going to add, but don't you think in like evaluating companies, it's very important to meet the people as well to actually get that feeling? And I think that's something AI is not able to do yet at the moment.
But but at the same time, maybe you meet, I don't know, the CEO of a company is not going to tell you that he pollute the water of the river behind his factory, okay? But if instead, like, the AI is able to find an article maybe from a local newspaper saying, oh, we notice big pollution on the river coming from the company, police is checking on it, maybe he can measure it, Like company try to hide this kind of stuff, and also if you are like a single person, like you can go to the CEO, like you can't really inform yourself properly. So in this way, AI is trying to close this gap.
Yeah, imagine in the future the AI is going to be able to perfectly read your emotions and see whether you're lying or not. That's going to be funnier.
And would be scary as well, I think.
Yeah, very scary. But yes.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was asked, where was this initiative started?
I think he's from UK. Let me check. He's like a visiting fellow at Bristol University, so I guess he's from UK. And ESG is basically a thing all over the world. So I think is using this kind of technology, whether it is the American market, the European market. But yeah, from understanding, was born like in the UK, since he's from UK.
Okay. So I don't know if you want to continue, Chiara, with your news article for today, like one of the news articles.
Cool. So the article I read was in the New York Times, and it was about wearable devices that are currently being used in different settings, in factories, in schools, in hospitals as well, to kind of help track the spread of the coronavirus pandemic. Oh. And I don't know, probably you've heard about these Corona apps before, but the wearables are actually quite different because they can take readings every single minute. They can track your temperature and different other measures to see if you have corona or so on. And they can even track your distance to other people at a much more precise level than the app. And so what they said in this article is that these wearable devices are being made mandatory in certain settings. So there's some universities in the US that make their students wear these devices to track them. And I thought that's really interesting because on one hand, of course, it's great if you can kind of see who might be infected with COVID and try to trace the other people who could have been infected. But on the other hand, I think there's also some privacy issues. Like if someone is reading your, personal skin temperature and different measures every single minute, I find that quite scary. And even that they make it mandatory. So, I thought that was an interesting article.
Is there really a point of having like a wearable on you? Because we in Europe, we have, like in France, we have a tracking app on our phones that like kind of does this same, like it just tells us if we were in contact or exposed to people who were maybe infected by COVID. But like, do we really need to measure everything, like all the health markers, mandatory? That sounds invasive.
Yeah, so actually what they were saying is that these wearable devices, they're kind of targeted at a different audience. So it's more for settings where people can't have their mobile phone, for example. So it's being used in factories where workers maybe don't have or are not allowed to bring their phone into the factory. And there's actually this company that was, it's called Kinect.
Chiara,
let's do the trick. Let's do the trick.
Yes.
Great. So there's a company called Kinexon, and previously they were making wearables for the sports industry. So to track like basketball players' movement, to analyze that. And with the whole Corona pandemic, they like converted their business model, and now instead of making these trackables for a sports team, they're making trackables for like coronavirus detection, and they're mainly selling it to factories. And just one more point to add, I watched a video, and factory workers wear this little bracelet with a chip, and if they come too close to other workers, the bracelet will start beeping. So it's quite intense.
Damn. I think that technology is having like a great impact on like this COVID stuff. There are a lot of innovation ongoing. Like there was an hackathon in Italy. It's not strictly related, but there was this hackathon where they did, like the winner developed this app where like you cough so you record yourself coughing, and then they analyze the data and they can tell you if you have like COVID symptoms. I don't know how reliable it is because obviously, as you can imagine, they need to collect like thousand million of data, but still it's pretty cool like that. You don't even need to go to the hospital. Maybe one day you can just cough in your phone. Okay, then maybe you can clean it and like whatever you have.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, well, it's all interesting. I'm still curious how there's not a single collective, file in the U.S. Supreme Court.
That's very
issue because I mean, if
a very US thing to do.
Yeah, it's like if you force your people to wear it. I mean, I think maybe it's a corporate thing. Like people think, okay, well, I'm in the corporate environment, why not? But like, yeah. just forcing people to do that all the time would be over the board for sure, over the top. Well, maybe now it's like a measure they're trying to keep workers safe. However, many questions related to that. I still think it can be done with a phone type of device with no tracking of everything your heart does. Yeah.
I think it's mandatory, maybe because, if like in a big factory or stuff, someone gets infected, then maybe you have to shut down some part of your factory. Yeah. So in this way, maybe, people are going to know where you are, maybe inside the factory, but still, maybe they'll know. The worst that could happen is that they know that you're in the bathroom of, taking a break, right? So.
Yeah, but I wonder how. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm wondering how it will be like after once they find a vaccine, maybe coronavirus is eradicated. Like, will they continue with these kind of devices, or will the devices also disappear with the coronavirus?
Hopefully they will, but they're gonna keep them just for the good measure. But I don't know. Yeah, privacy is a huge issue now. Yeah, even with simple tracking apps, not all people are able to accept them. Even though they're trying to make them anonymous, they're trying to make it all as unconnected to you as possible. It's just your Bluetooth device, your Bluetooth code that gets exchanged with other codes with no other information. And if one of the code holders has the symptoms, he just types it in the thing, and it's completely anonymous. So even if you break into the system, hack their data, you're not going to be able to see much because it's all anonymized. You're not going to be really able to connect it, in theory, hopefully. But it's a huge privacy issue.
Yeah, in Italy, we had go for it, Chiara.
Go ahead, enter.
No, in Italy, we had very big concern with people being like, no, you're going to control us. We don't want to download it. It's useless. Even though they explain it very well. Don't worry, we're not going to know where you are, what you are doing. It's just for safety measures. And they're like, no. So it was quite a failure.
It's a cultural thing as well, because in certain parts of the world, these corona tracing apps are mandatory and really widely adopted. But in Germany, I can say the same, it's not mandatory and not everyone has it. So,
yeah. Well, let's pass from the Big Brother theme to the all-seeing governments to some more fun stuff, because I have 2 fun articles for today. The first one is about robots.
Okay, cool.
You all know Boston Dynamics, I think, the company that does beautifully, I would say, beautifully choreographed robots. They are having Atlas and their Spot models. Atlas is the 2-legged biped robot that performs amazingly well. It can jump around, do somersaults, and be more stable on ground than me. And they also have Spot, a 4-legged model that is looks like a dog, looks very cute. It's yellow, you've probably seen it, and it also can keep its ground. So if you kick it, punch it, or if it slips by accident, it can get up. And it's pretty resilient. It's pretty universal. That is why it was the first thing to get released officially by Boston Dynamics. A couple of months, maybe a year ago, it was released to the public for an exorbitant price of $75,000, I think. Of course, it's more of a prototype than a real thing, because it only comes with a factory preset. And that is what my news of the month is going to be. It's the first report of BP, British Petroleum, a company that actually purchased the robots, and it's their first report on how they adapted them to the situation. Because when you buy this extremely expensive robot, it comes with factory presets and factory abilities of being able to walk, analyze the environment and stuff, but it's for you, or for your company's employees, to program the thing so it fits the environment you want. Because it's not only for the, let's say, British Petroleum platforms or anything else. It can be anything. It just depends on you, on what you code inside the thing. So British Petroleum shared their insights, their ways of adapting the robots to the petroleum stations. So, for instance, they implemented spots on the petroleum stations. They were able to do checks, for example, because they have good cameras. They are able to track the place in 3D and so place themselves when they were needed and where they were needed. So they were able to do the regular checkups. So far, they're going smoothly. They're not throwing spots in the frontier of in the industry. They're just doing the mandatory, obligatory, a little bit boring stuff that people can do, but they're doing it pretty well because thanks to the programming, and more importantly, it's a complex way of programming. It's a mix of machine learning, deep learning, and all the other algorithms, because that's the best way to learn Spot to be responsive to one type of task, but not like only in one set of conditions. That's why you can like learn it, I don't know, to check this sensor, even if it's foggy, even if it's raining, even if the sensor is a little bit to the right because it was placed to the right by the worker, it's still going to be able like to find it, stand in front of it, scan it, and send the report live to whatever system he's connected to. So for me, it's a beautiful, inspiring thing to see, because finally a robot is working next to humans in a dangerous environment. It's gonna help alleviate some mundane tasks, and later on it's gonna be able to act in more dangerous environments where humans are maybe exposed to potential dangers. They're gonna be able to do the same tasks or nearly the same tasks, but with no risk for the human lives and for hopefully the same efficiency. So I don't know about you, but I feel happy as a human to know that we're going there.
Super cool. Like I think I saw there is this Canadian guy, a YouTuber called Unbox Therapy, I think.
Oh yeah, Lewis.
And,
I think
Lewis. Yeah, and he actually unboxed like the Boston Dynamics. How it's called, Spot, right?
Spot, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, this is so cool. Let's see how much does it cost. And then I saw the price and I was like, okay. It's easy. It's cheaper to get another dog, maybe. But yeah, like, no, it's incredibly cool. Like I've been seeing like videos around going viral for the past, I think, 10 years, maybe more or less, of this Spot dog, and knowing that now it's available to the public, to companies, and it can actually help humans with their daily tasks. It's like super great.
And actually order it on their site.
Yeah. And you can actually see the $75,000 price tag. Yeah. I mean, you can order it if you want. Like, it's not restricted to companies, so it's everyone. Yeah, and like as Lewis, like many other YouTubers, like MKBHD did it, and also Adam Savage from MythBusters. He has
really?
One. Yeah, he has one, and it's very interesting how he tests it, because they, like the physical people, they're not like able to code them substantially because they're just one-man army, but they're still like testing their basic functions, which are so impressive too. Like you can see how you can like direct the thing to walk over, I don't know, an obstacle, like over a set of stairs, and they're gonna be able to do it. And they're beautifully yellow, which is nice too.
Yes,
I mean, so
it's kind of fun.
That's for the robot.
It's funny looking.
Right?
Yeah, it's not like those kind of robots, with in the film, how it's called, the one with Will Smith, very resembling humans.
Ex Machina?
Yeah, I
Robot,
think
maybe. Yeah.
I Robot. Yeah, I mean,
we were talking about this movie last podcast. It's every podcast we're gonna be able to talk about this movie. Yeah.
No, but I love it.
I mean, who knows? Maybe in like 20 years, you're gonna be able to buy yourself a mechanical dog who's gonna be able not only to run around in the park, but also, I don't know, read news articles with you, or like cook.
Next thing, instead of buying a car, you'll buy like a mechanical dog. Why not? I would love to ride it, actually.
I would love to, yes, or even like a mechanical horse. That would be great, honestly. I would be all things about this mechanical horse. It would be my day-to-day thing from morning to evening.
Can you imagine like riding on the Champs-Elysees with your big horse?
Yeah, and I'm gonna be like, Leo, who did you buy? Oh, I bought a unicorn. Who did you buy? I bought a mammoth. Like, I wanted a mammoth.
That's wonderful.
That would be beautiful.
That's wonderful.
Well, so far we have spots, which is good too. I know. Yeah. So let's continue with the second set of news.
Okay.
Second round. So let's do it again. The same order. So Leo, please.
Okay. So I'm a startup guy. So here another startup. This article I think is from TechCrunch, and it's about Arbor, which like just raised about 40 million in their last Series A round. And they do when I wrote about them, I was like, man, this is what me, Alexander, and the other guy during the data-driven exam tried to do. So they basically built a platform, a secure platform, to enable big data exchange between companies or third parties, or between other part of the organization. So basically their goal, they work on three aspects. On a technical side, so they try to put the data that they collect into a, let's say, common format, so it can be used by everyone. Second problem they try to tackle is like commercial. So they want to create this kind of thing where you can provide your data to others and even make a marketplace, let's say. So where you can exchange data like you are, I don't know, in Amazon. So you have a seller A selling to selling B this amount of data, and seller B can use them without any problems because they are on the same format. And third, as well, as we talked before, security, which is a big issue. I also have a very short and nice video which shows the whole infrastructure. I don't know if I can share it somehow.
Probably can share the screen, yes.
Okay, let me see if I can do it, because it's really super intuitive and I find it amazing. Wait, let me see. Video. Okay, share your screen. Go live. Blah blah. Okay.
Let me watch the stream.
Let's see.
It's
if
still
it
loading.
Works. Loading. I mean, if I can show it, never mind. But yeah, so basically, while it's loading, I'll keep talking. So basically, their main idea is to transform data and to have you see data as a product and as an asset. So reshape the way companies think about data and get the most out of them. So not just use them by yourself, but make them accessible to the whole organization in a smart and easy way. Okay, wait, I'll retry to do this sharing stuff, and as well to third parties, because was the main problem that we try to tackle, right? Within the company that we work for. I don't know if we can say the name. Yeah, probably. Maybe. Okay, let's don't say it. Yeah, okay. Well, we work with these big companies, which goal was to become a data-driven company, and we noticed that the main problem was that within the organization, since it was this big, was very difficult to communicate with the different type of data that they had, right? And this company, Arbor, basically is finding a way to create some unique format, and some format that maybe you have format A and format B, but to switch from format A to format B is just a matter of a click, and you don't need to do any work on it. So, I mean, pretty cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, data is a very underutilized asset. Hopefully we're going to be able to leverage as much as we can from it. Okay,
it's not sharing, but maybe, okay, I'll leave you, I can tell you how we spell it. HARBOR. So if any one of the people following from home want to check it, the video is very informative and it's super cool. You can actually see the websites from where you can control all of your data and stuff.
That's very cool.
Okay, Chiara is back.
Chiara did the trick. That's good. Yes.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Go.
Can one just access this platform to sell their data, or how does it work?
Yeah, you can. I mean, from my understanding, let's say you have a company and you can, with your data, you can create basically this marketplace, and company B can join this platform, join your, let's say, company website inside the platform and buy your data from there.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. I don't know how much how they work with the compliance with GDPR and this kind of stuff, but apparently they find a way to work around it or to be compliant with it. But yeah, you can do whatever you want within the platform with third parties or with other part of your organization.
Okay, that sounds like an excellent opportunity for those who want to do something with their numbers that they generate, the data numbers. That's cool. Let's see how it plays out in the future. Hopefully it's going to be.
Yeah, it's just I think a 3 years old platform, and they raise a total, I don't know, Last round was 40 million. I think that right now they may be around like total money raised, like total funding of 60, 70 million. So it's not bad for a 3 years old
It's promising,
company.
very promising, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Wow.
So
Then
Chiara,
can you just select?
Sorry? Yes?
Yeah, just another question. Can you then just select what data you want to buy and they give you a price, or is it like an auction, or how does it?
It doesn't specify this part, but yeah, you don't have to buy all the data that this company can offer. Let's say, I don't know, if you are Walmart, you have, I don't know, data about how many people buys different type of tea, and you are a company selling tea. Maybe you need this kind of data for market segmentation. So you join the platform and you say, okay, you sell this kind of data, I want to buy them, and that's it.
It's a great opportunity for panel marketing, honestly.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
going to change the market for real, but it's great.
Go Arbor.
We'll see how it plays out. Please, Chiara, now can you share us the second news article we'd like to share?
So the article I read was in the Financial Times, and it's about a new language generation model called GPT-3. Have you heard about it?
Nope.
Not really.
Not yet, at least.
Well, it's incredible because you can give it some text or like a prompt, and it will generate like a whole paragraph or a whole response. So basically, it can write text in a way that's super similar to a human. And it was actually released in this May by OpenAI, which is a company based in San Francisco.
It's Elon Musk's company, I believe. Yeah.
I think he invested in it. I'm not quite sure.
His investments are there for sure.
But so this model cost $12 million to build. And actually, an interesting fact they mentioned in the article is that it has been trained on 45 terabytes of text data.
Cool.
And so this means it processes about 45 billion times the number of words a human perceives in their lifetime, which I think is incredible. And currently, it's just been released to other companies as a beta version, so companies can make use of it now. And what's really interesting about this language model, it can be used, for example, to write automated emails, to create marketing content. So it's been really applied to instances where humans don't really need to write any text anymore.
So
which is incredible.
No more university essay for the student of the future, or
hopefully you're just gonna choose the essay that you like the most.
You know, this could be groundbreaking for all the students all over the world.
Yeah, but that's like it's like a neural network type of thing, because now we have like Twitter accounts that are completely led by an AI that are just composed by an AI from scratch or like based on something, and it's very interesting to see how they come up with like things that make sense. Of course, now it's only in the beginning, but I think OpenAI is making more and more progress in this field, not only this company, but yeah, it's very fascinating. Yeah.
Just what I think is interesting as well is this model, it can create like incredible language, incredible sentences, but it doesn't recognize the meaning behind the words it creates. So to give you an example, like one researcher asked the model, how many eyes does my foot have? And so GPT-3 replied, your foot has 2 eyes. So, I mean, it can create like coherent sentences, but I don't think it understands what it's creating.
Yeah.
Or it makes it doesn't.
So it's not like going to substitute like journalists and stuff, right? Yet. Like it doesn't understand like emotions and stuff. So you can't write like a passionate piece of article about, I don't know, war somewhere in the world. It's just like basically reading the question and try to figure out like the sentence that make the most sense, right?
More or less.
No, it's just
but it's already. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's writing poetry already. So.
And it's fun. I wanted to talk about this. It's fun to know that you're reading a thing that makes you feel something, but you know that the thing that wrote it didn't feel anything.
Yeah,
or it didn't even mean to feel anything. and you're like, wow, am I just being being diverted by a machine that just scrambles letters and gives it to me? That's interesting. We were talking about this in the last podcast. Like, if an AI does an art piece, and is it an art piece? Well, we thought that, well, maybe if you feel something from it, then it is. And same here. I mean, if it's an AI doing the things, yeah, of course it doesn't feel much. But if you feel something, then isn't it good already?
Yeah, I agree.
That's the
I
point
think they
of the
can
thing.
make art piece. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
This is like philosophical questions, like what does it mean to be creative and so on.
yeah, and
What is
maybe there's gonna scramble words, but maybe that's how we're gonna find the meaning of everything. Who knows? Maybe they're the philosophers of the future because they don't have all the prejudice we have. They don't have anything they have to do. They're not accountable, so they just shuffle words around and see what happens.
That's very deep, Alex.
Thank you.
I'll spend my day thinking about it. Like,
Yeah, maybe all the next Socrates are gonna be AIs.
AI.
And
Can you
maybe we're
imagine?
gonna follow a philosophy, a life philosophy, or a life religion of a new AI, of a supercomputer that's gonna think a million years before the answer and then say 42, just like in the famous. Anyways, I also I had a chance to mess with those algorithms. There's one released by Yandex. It was trained on Russian literature, classic Russian literature, and you can like type in text, as much text as you want, and it's gonna be base its answer on the Russian literature, and it's gonna like complete the paragraph for yourself. And let me tell you, some of them are very, very interesting because like they try and keep coherent with what you said before. They try and continue, like they use the names, for example, you used. They use the same like sentence lengths, the same like tone of voice. They try to imitate your tone of voice, so they complete the sentence, and you see, like, you can actually see how it works, and it's very interesting. Yeah, who knows where we will be able to use it? Maybe for tomorrow it's gonna write the new best slogan for, I don't know, Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the possibilities are unlimited.
Yeah.
Like when you have
Let me
when you
have
have
a
like an
philosopher.
AI.
Yeah. I mean, just let's put one of those things in my spot robot in the future, and let me just be able to talk with my dog. I won't need anyone. No.
That'll be the final goal, like the final dream.
Yeah, having
Once you achieve that, you're okay with your life.
I mean, no need to invent interstellar
No, man.
communications or stuff.
I mean, talking robot, which is like 100 times stronger than a human, I would buy it like tomorrow.
There's gonna be a shift in power on this planet, honestly. Yeah. But why not? Let's see what happens. I'm gonna end the news segment with a little interesting news. It's not that techy, the news itself. It's more to give you food for the thought, because recently, according to Reuters, there was a change in the top tier security positions in Twitter. So now one of the head securities, if not the head security for the Twitter, the one who's responsible for data protection, making sure that the integrity of the Twitter data, which is massive, stays intact. So now this person is a hacker, a very infamous hacker in the past, of course, who was known as Mudge, and now he is appointed to this head position, which is very curious to think that a person who used to be a hacker, who has a nickname above all, and he's known for the nickname like a true hacker might be, and now he's appointed to a very like corporate, structured position of a head of a big corporation that needs to make sure that the data stays intact. For me, it's just funny to think that a person who used to be a cyber shady person now has to attend weekly meetings with his team in a beautiful headquarters somewhere. I don't know where Twitter is based. This is an interesting,
I think that at the same time, it's the best person that you could hire, right? Like if someone is able, if someone is able to break into your website or whatever, your social network, I would want to hire that person and pay it like million to keep like my social network, in this case, secure.
Yeah,
I mean, also Twitter, I think had this year a data breach. Like I don't know if you read when I think this 17 years old guy from the US,
Yeah.
broke into Donald Trump. No, I don't know Trump. Yeah, Trump as well, Elon Musk, Obama, and this kind of personalities, and wrote like a tweet: send X Bitcoin to this address. Actually, people sending money now. I think it's some very heavy charges from FBI and CIA. So I mean, yeah, and he raised like 100K, I think, in Bitcoin.
Well, I mean, no, but
Like,
that's
can you imagine breaking into like Barack Obama Twitter profile and write, "Hey guys, send me Bitcoin," and people are like, "Yeah, why not? I mean, what's the president? Let's send him. Go."
he might not receive enough funding from the U.S. government, so let's send him something.
Yeah, let's send some Bitcoin. Man.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, like, can you like perceive it as a career choice? Like, I'm doing the IT school, then I'm gonna become a hacker for a couple of years. If I don't get caught, maybe I'm gonna go to Microsoft or somewhere. Like, I don't know. If I prove to be enough a menace, they probably will be able to hire me. Yeah.
Any illegal stuff, or was it all still like pretty legal?
I don't know what he what he was doing before. Like, probably if I even wanted to know, we wouldn't be able to know. But like, it was known that he was a hacker, and you don't call normal people hackers. Maybe he was a white hat hacker. Yes, but he was on a freelance. Let's say he was on security freelance. Yes, yes, and.
I mean, it probably it's not a traditional path to follow, but at the same time, I think that it's kind of common, like in companies that looking for this kind of people to take charge of your security stuff. Like, I think that who did it? I don't remember which company usually like post. I don't know, like probably Apple as well. Like, if you manage to jailbreak their last like iOS update, they're going to give you money if you explain them how you do it. It's basically free work for them, because like they can, instead of paying like
they're encouraging this.
So why not? Probably it's the easier way instead. I don't know, fully a traditional career path. It's illegal, yeah.
I mean, white hat hacking is legal as soon as you just explain the company and give everything, and without posting it somewhere online. It is completely legal, and it's a good practice. So maybe it is an optional career choice if you want to become some head of security of some beautiful big company.
Probably it's even more effective than following the traditional path.
Just stay legal, okay, guys? If one of you listening wants to do that, don't hack into Pentagon or anything. Stay legal.
Wait, Tucker. I had this period of my life where I wanted to get into coding and stuff. Like, I was 12 years old. I was like, okay, how to hack? And I was like, I'm going to find tons of stuff online. Obviously, you're going to find some like very shady website, or maybe some very like stupid Reddit thread where they just make fun of you. So I never learned how to be a hacker.
Virus or two, yes.
Probably.
There, yes, probably. Yeah.
But when I was 12 years old, I was very excited about it. But I want to break into stuff.
Why not? Yes. Imagine the things I'm going to be able to do. I'm going to be able to buy myself as much ice cream as I want.
That's kind of stuff. I wasn't that ambitious, steal money and stuff. I know, buy PlayStation video games, this kind of stuff.
Hack into them, yes. Yeah. I mean, let's see what the future holds. Maybe all the security experts are going to be ex-hackers in the future. Yeah. So now we're gonna pass for the last section, the concluding section of this podcast. And we're gonna be talking about the job of the month. So each month we're choosing one data-related job, and based on actually the Parisian and French, let's say, job offerings, I'm gonna give you the most in-demand skills for the job, the range of salary for the job. It's actually similar for the world in terms of the required sets of skills you need. But we're based in Paris, so it's just the anchor point for us. So this job of the month is data scientist. Can you tell me what a data scientist is? Like, what does he or she do? What's the job? Just give me your association, your top of the head thing. What do you think when I say data scientist?
I mean, data scientist is someone with good like coding skills, so like maybe Python, R, SQL, this kind of coding language, and is able to extract value from the data that a company owns.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty much what I think too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Chiara, do you...
Scientist sounds quite scientific, so
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
they quite qualified.
Yeah, when
And,
I hear
maybe
data scientist, I focus on scientist part. Yes, I hear it. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, and that's pretty much correct. You're both correct. Me too. I think the same things as both of you. Data scientist is a more engineering, more IT math type of job. Actually, like almost, I would say 80-90% of job offerings in Paris require you to hold a degree in math, statistics, or IT. Or like engineering school degree in order to start a career.
Or big data and business analytics from ESCP Business School.
Hopefully. Contact us, please. Yes. Yes, and they require this because there's actually reason behind that. A data scientist is someone who, and now I'm gonna be speaking in vague words because data scientist is still like a vast profession. You can be working on many things. So data scientist is someone who, of course, uses data to extract value from it by developing models, developing probably machine learning models, deep learning models, other types of algorithms in order to analyze this very specific type of data and give some actionable insights. Of course, data scientists are always connected with either service providing, either business consulting, because either you give them their data and they're going to tell you how to make more money or how to reduce the price and increase efficiency, or you're going to be able to contribute to a service because, as we all know, Spotify is so good with predicting the next song you might like because they analyze your preferences using the algorithms and because they have such great models that recommend you the song you probably will want. So this is a crucial changing point from the data analyst position that we discussed last month, is the fact that the data analyst is mostly purely analyzing data without applying significant transformation to the model. They're not usually contributing to the algorithms that will recommend you something or will do something crucial. They're usually extracting value from data, from analysis. Yeah, whereas data scientists can usually create models and fit something to something. And that's, of course, a more scientific and a more scientifically demanding job, because in order to construct a beautiful algorithm, of course, you need to know how this algorithm might work. You need to know how to tweak it in order for it to work better. And that demands some IT skills. And but that's a rewarding job as well. Can you guess the average salary for a data scientist in Paris in a month?
I think I know the one in the US, which is like $127,000 per year. Yeah, full contract.
Yeah, but like for the internship, if you're a student and intern, can you?
Maybe,
I don't know in the US because there they have a habit of not paying their interns, but here, like, how much money would you expect for a monthly data science intern position?
I would say from 2 to 3K euro, maybe.
That's a lot.
For an intern.
Yeah, for an intern.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a large estimate. I like your way of thinking.
It was like
euros.
How much
per month? 800 for an internship.
Okay, that's a pessimistic position. I like this range of positions, but it's actually in between, more to the Chiara side than to the side of Leo, but still not bad because it averages around 1,000, 1,500 in this range somewhere, which is a good salary you might hope for an internship.
As an intern, yeah.
Because as an
definitely.
intern, it's almost, you don't pay almost any taxes on that, and having 1,300 as a intern salary is a great thing. Because because later it can lead you to a full-time data scientist position, and here you can also try and guess how much, for example, in France, an average starting data scientist position can earn you.
52.
52.
Ooh, that's very precise.
I've seen this number somewhere. Yes.
I'm going to say 45K.
45K. Again, of course, again, there are many markets and many companies that pay different things, but here a fork is a little bit wider. It starts with somewhere around 40K. And it can go up to 55 if for a starting position. I'm telling. It depends really on the company where you're working on, because you can be very well predicting some new songs for the algorithm, or you can be working in banking, or you can be working in industrial machinery where you're gonna be trying to predict when the machine is gonna break or how much it's gonna be able to produce, or you're gonna be programming the next spot robot. Who knows? Yeah, so the range is wide of the requirements of like job requirements, but the range is also wide for salaries. But of course, we've all heard that the data scientist is the sexiest job of the 21st century. We've heard it in many articles, and that's certainly looking like that so far. Maybe it's a bubble, who knows? But it's true that there's still lots of data to leverage, lots of things to process, and data scientists are going to help us to do just that. And actually, many things we were talking about just now involve data scientists in some way or another. Programming robots, giving estimates to the risk. It's all a data scientist. I think that data scientists would do. So yeah.
Yeah, I think in the US they say that they are like the new investment bank, or kind of like investment banking became such a like super cool job in the US, super trending, super popular, and now like people are moving toward data science. The financial industry is not anymore the one that was like 4 years ago. So that's also why I think that in the US it's one of the highest paid job, at least for a entry level position. So because like $130,000 is a lot. Like
It's true, but for now, it's probably like a product of the demand and an offer of the position, because everybody wants their data to be processed. Everybody wants insights, and not enough people yet are able to converge to the path of a data scientist. That's why there's more demand than usual and less offer than usual. Probably it's going to even out and level out somewhere in the next 5 years.
Yeah, probably.
But still, it still remains a great job opportunity. And honestly, I also heard somewhere, I also read it, I'm not sure about the exact numbers, but like today, Goldman Sachs has way more engineers than they used to have like 10 years ago, and in proportionally less non-engineer people, because this is the thing that revolutionizes the industry, the consulting industry, and
they are like hiring people with engineering background, math background, because like you can always learn the finance basics, because let's be honest, they're kind of easy for the job that you're going to do. But like if you really know heavy engineer stuff and models and blah blah, it's like you can bring more value to the company compared to someone with like a finance major.
Exactly, yeah. So the future is changing, and the future is going to be different.
And I did the finance, so I mean, people who studied finance as well, don't be angry with me. That's the poor reality. So
there's still going to be places for people who study finance with no technical background, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so.
So who knows what the future holds, right? So yeah. Anyways, I think we're gonna be finishing right about now with this podcast. I hope you had fun, guys, having here, and thank you once again for being here. It was a pleasure hearing your voices and hearing your ideas. I hope you, our listeners and our viewers on YouTube, are also satisfied with what we produced for the past hour or so. Hope you've learned something new, and. So thanks again to Chiara Hopner and Leonardo Nespolen for joining. This is Big Data Month, November. Hopefully the lockdown is going to be it's going to be over soon, so we're going to be able to gather again in full force physically. But for now, we're still doing it online, and we're still having fun with it. Thanks again for watching and listening to us, and we'll see you next month. Goodbye.
Bye, guys. Bye. Thank you.